All right, these are the answers to worksheet 10.5. In all cases, we're going to do the same three things and graph it out. So the first thing we're going to do is find the y-intercept. We do that by finding what happens when x is 0. So if I put 0 in here, I'm going to get 0, 0, 12. So 0, 12. 0, 12. There's my y-intercept. Okay. As far as the x-intercepts go, I set y equal to 0 now. So I get 0 equals x squared minus 8x plus 12. I think of numbers that multiply to equal 12 and add to equal negative 8. That's negative 2 and negative 6. So I get x equal 2 or 6. So 2, 0, and 6, 0 right here and right there. Those are my x-intercepts. Okay. My vertex then is going to be halfway between them. So halfway between 2 and 6 is 4. So I know 4 will be the x-coordinate for that. Okay. To get the y-coordinate, I have to put 4 into the original equation and see what happens. So y equals 4 squared. 4 times 4 is 16. Minus 8 times 4 is 32. Plus 12. If I do that, 16 minus 32 is negative 16, plus 12 is a negative 4. So 4, negative 4 is right there. Okay, so then the last thing I'm going to do is just kind of sketch this. And again, it doesn't have to be pretty, but it does have to go through this vertex, bounce off, come back up through that x-intercept, and kind of do that. Okay, so for each one of these, that's what we're going to do. Set x equal to 0 to get that y-intercept. Set the y equal to 0, solve out, get 2 x-intercepts, and then go halfway between and find that vertex. Okay? So on this one here, if I set x equal to 0, I get 0 minus 9, I get negative 9 for that. And that's right there. Okay? As far as my x-intercepts go, if I set this equal to 0, this is just, I could just do this by square roots. I could add that 9 over, take the square root, I get positive or negative 3 for that. So positive 3 and negative 3 will be my x-intercepts. Okay. And you can see that the halfway between negative 3 and positive 3 is 0. So this point, while it's the y-intercept, is also my vertex for this particular one. All right, because the halfway point between this is between those. So this one, once you see that, this actually is one of the easier ones you could do. It might have confused you at first, but if you ever saw that again, really it's just a standard U-shaped graph that's been shifted down 9. So not too bad. Number 3 here, we're going to set x equal to 0 again. We get 0, 0, negative 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 5. There's our y-intercept. For our x-intercept, set y equal to 0. We're going to factor that into x minus 5, x plus 1. So I get x equals 5 and negative 1. So those are my x-intercepts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and negative 1. Okay, so now I want to go halfway between there, and halfway between 5 and negative 1 is x equal 2. 2 is 3 spaces away here and 3 spaces away there. So now I got to figure out, well, what's the y value? So I'm putting 2 back into here. Y equals 2 squared. 2 times 2 is 4. Minus 4 times 2, which is 8, minus 5. I get negative 4 minus 5, which is negative 9. So right there. All right, so bring this down, have it bend, turn, and there's our graph. Okay. So again, what I'm going to be looking for are those points, the y-intercept, the x-intercepts, and the vertex. If we can show all of those, then you'll be just fine. Okay. All right, our last one here. I'm going to put 0 in for x, 0, 0, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, set it equal to 0. What are two numbers that multiply to equal 7 and add to equal negative 8? That'd be negative 1 and negative 7. So x equals 1 or 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now we want to go halfway between 1 and 7, and halfway between 1 and 7 would be 4. So I know 4 is the x part of that. As far as the y part, I'm going to put 4 in here. 4 squared. 4 times 4 is 16, minus 8 times 4, 32, plus 7. And if you work that out, I believe you get negative 9 for your answer there. And so now I can come down, and again, turn that. We're trying to keep them pretty ordinary for right now. When you get into Algebra 2, you'll learn how to flip them over and make them bigger and whatnot. For right now, we're just giving you some of the basics of what these graphs look like. All right, so hopefully you did well on that worksheet and ready for your quiz next week.